We are here at the BigTreeTech booth looking at all the awesome circuit boards. You guys are also here with Biqu as well, right?
Funny story, that Biqu, BigTreeTech, same company.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
hey, you learn something every day.
The owner, his nickname in college was Big Tree. And when you pronounce that in Chinese, you actually say Biqu. So that's where the Biqu comes from. And then he used the direct translation as sort of the other brand name, BigTreeTech.
So he's either very tall or very short.
I guess he's kind of tall.
Okay.
But his name actually sounds like Big Tree, so that's where they played on the words. And,
Okay,
yeah.
that's cool. See,
There you go.
it's
You
always
learn something
fun
new.
learning those little things. You guys got some awesome stuff here on display today. Talk to me about what's going on.
I mean, BigTreeTech, the reason that Eric started it was because he was a maker and he was looking for cool stuff to upgrade his machines with,
Right.
and he couldn't find it. So he was like, well, I'm just going to start a company and make it. And so it
That's
started.
a very maker thing to do. No one else does it. F it, I'm gonna do it myself.
So, I mean, it started, I think, with drivers originally, and then it just grew from there. Motherboards are kind of the speciality. We do a whole ton of boards for all different kinds of machines. I would say probably my favorite is definitely this over here, which is the...
What is this?
This is called the Manta E3 Easy. The reason I personally really like this,
There's a pie on it.
it packs a
There is a pie
whole
on it.
ton of functionality into just like a really compact board. So 5 drivers, plus you buy this, which is the CB1. So
Okay.
this is like a full Linux computer,
Yeah.
and you just clip it on there, and that's it. That's a whole clipper
You're
solution. Done. You're good to go. So yeah, we'll flip it around.
Oh, gotta do it wrong.
and
Okay, well,
and
it's
yeah,
amateur hour over here. I'm sorry.
no, yeah. Well, there you go. You're good to go. So
Oh man.
you plug your camera into that, and you can watch your print, connect it to Wi-Fi, connect it to Ethernet, clip a Marlin, full solution. I mean,
I like that the drivers are the vertical ones. Man, the old school days of using those header pins, and you'd always bend one, and you'd cussing at yourself trying to get it right. This, you just put it in.
so
there
you know what
perfect.
we had is very often we would have customers come back to us and say, look, I turned your board on and bad stuff happened. And we say, look, that's
Yeah,
cool, let's
magic
work
smoke.
with you. Many of the times we'd find out that that driver was in the wrong way around. And the
Yep.
problem with that is it doesn't just take the driver out, it takes the whole board with it.
Yeah, it's not fun.
Yeah, and we developed a few ways to protect against that, but ultimately we figured, why have a driver you can put in the wrong way around to begin with? And
Yeah.
so we did this, and it's keyed. There's only one way it's going to go in.
Perfect.
And it's just so easy to
That
use.
solves problems like
Yeah.
like I've had where I accidentally cut wires on stream once. That was fun.
Yeah, so motherboards, single board computers, a whole bunch of different display options that
yeah, I
we do.
love those screens.
Some really cool things if you're into using your printer for multiple different purposes. You
Mm-hmm.
sort of put this board on your gantry, you just hit this button, and you know you can change
nice.
extruders just with the button, different extruder on there. What I do is I've got a little 40-watt diode laser on there, and you can do all kinds of cool stuff with that.
That you can.
So that's a cool little product.
Ooh,
And of course,
this.
then there is the extruders. So this is a collaboration with E3D.
That's
It
a
is-
light boy right there.
It is super lightweight. You can see there is no metal that is unnecessary that has been
Fully
left on that.
skeletonized.
Fully skeletonized. And yeah, that is a high flow 0.6 Revo nozzle, and that thing will chuck filament out. Yeah.
It looks like it will. That's a nice setup for a printer where you want direct drive, but you don't want a lot of weight flinging around there. Maybe you want to go fast for some reason. There's a lot of good reasons to go fast these days.
Yeah.
And of course,
We've got these guys as well.
yeah,
So
the pandas.
the pandas. So this is your sort of Bondtech collaboration.
Mm-hmm.
That is the CHT panda. So if you want to go CHT on your bamboo, it's a drop-in replacement. You just sort of
Yeah.
plug it in,
Yeah.
and you're good to go. No PRD tuning necessary at all. And then you've got this, which is the E3D collaboration, the Revo Panda.
Yep.
And yeah, one of the cool things about that, you know, with the bamboo machines, they're good machines, and we're just super impressed with what they've done. Like,
I've had less than stellar performance, but you know. hey.
actually, I did see that. I did see you had a few issues with it.
Number 2 is going
Clogs.
back.
Clogs, all right? So you do get clogs with them. And
I
I
get
think I saw
tons
that.
of problems.
All right. If you get a clog with it, it's difficult to recover the print because you kind of have to unplug this to swap out the hot
Which
end.
upsets it, yeah.
and it gets a little bit upset. However, if you could just cut the filament, unscrew that, and pop a new one in, you're
Done.
good to go again.
Yep.
So that is a really neat feature of that.
I love that.
Hotend. Yeah.
I love that. A lot of options. Ooh, and some carbon fiber goodness. Yes, sir.
The same investors of BigTreeTech and Biqu started a company called Chaotic Lab. So they're sort of, I call them a close partner, and they do a bunch of carbon fiber and CNC stuff
Love
for Voron.
that. Very pretty.
So yeah, there's just a beautiful range of their stuff
Yeah.
that is specifically for Voron machines. They'll get your Voron humming really, really fast. Really just good looking stuff as well on the machine. Replace a lot of the printed part with custom designed CNC stuff.
And of course, the big reason why you buy BigTreeTech stuff is you get a rubber ducky with your orders. Okay?
Who
That's like-
doesn't want
That's like half the reason right there.
a gangster duck?
I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
I'll be honest, we don't
Gold
ship all our
chain and
ducks, gangster ducks.
I mean,
but,
that's fair.
I mean, when we're at a show, we do something special, right?
A lot of awesome boards here as well. What is in the future for BQ and BigTreeTech? What do we got going on? Anything you can tell the folks at home?
A lot of stuff, actually a whole lot of stuff. We're definitely focusing on, when you look at the industry, we have to be honest, machines are coming out and they are more complete out the box.
They are. They are.
That's definitely the way that it's heading.
Yeah.
And we are an aftermarket accessory business at heart.
Right.
So what does an aftermarket accessory business do when machines are coming out more complete? Well, we adapt and we innovate, and that's what we're busy doing. We've got, as you can see, the Bamboo Revo, and we've got a whole bunch more stuff coming for Bamboo machines, but also for a whole lot of other machines to add features that will either improve quality of life or just add features that they didn't have to begin with.
That's great to see.
So a whole bunch of really, really cool stuff, but we're never going to leave our DIYers. I mean, that is where our hearts definitely
Fun to
are.
still build stuff from scratch.
Yeah.
Get back with the roots of the wrap.
So we've actually been working with the Voron team on something really, really cool that we'll see in a good few months from now.
Soon TM. Yep. Get a
Yeah,
lot of those
soon
set.
TM. Keep your eyes open for that. It is a great, great product that's coming. And just in terms of our motherboard range, we've got a whole bunch of really cool things. Some of them Clipper related, others Marlin related. We've never forgotten about that. Scott does amazing things.
Yes, he does.
But yeah, just a whole range of really great products. And Hotends, some really cool stuff coming on that front as well.
I'm excited
Really
as well.
half flow, great stuff is on the way. Yeah.
I really want to start pushing the boundaries for what's possible with filament. That's part of the fun that I like to do, is look at something and say, we can do better than that. We can go faster, we can go better, we can start to look at where we crystallize materials because we're moving them so fast.
Well, there is a project that we are very far down the line with that involves a very popular personality online, that the entire focus is push to the absolute limit of all the boundaries. And that project should also be ready in about 3 months. And it is you will enjoy it.
I am looking forward to it. This is awesome. Guys, take a look at BigTreeTech and BQ in that description down below. Click those links, support them, show them some love, because if you are looking to build your own custom printer, honestly, look no further than BigTreeTech and BQ. Amazing stuff. We have used their parts in the past, and in fact, I have one of these sitting in a box. Where's it gonna go? You all let me know in those comments. Maybe we'll make a custom printer to fit that really awesome V2S Revo. Guys, stay tuned for the next booth. We're gonna move on to the next one. Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming around. I really appreciate it.
I am excited for the really awesome things that are coming in this industry when it comes to custom motherboards for your printers to get you printing better. Stay tuned. We'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks.
Thanks, man.
Appreciate it. We are here at the Slice Engineering booth, and there's some cool stuff. We were doing a little bit of a run through of what is here, and I said, no, stop, because I don't understand what this is. It sounds really, really cool. Don't explain it to me, do it on camera. I am joined by Dan, previous podcast guest. We'll card that episode so you guys can take a look at it. Dan, this is awesome. Glad to see you guys here. You got a big freaking printer over there.
We do. I'm really excited to have the printer here.
But talk to me about what we have going on right here.
Part of the reason we have the printer here, as you mentioned, is because we're showing off our new Prime Hotend, Mosquito Prime, that we launched at Rapid TCT a little bit earlier this year. Rapid TCT, for those that don't know, is the largest additive manufacturing trade show in North America.
Yep.
And Mosquito Prime does up to about half a kilo an hour of output, 150 watts of heating power.
I know this is obviously not going to translate very well to video, but I expected this to be about half the weight that it currently is. Is this all steel?
It's copper. So copper,
Oh, it's
hot
nickel-plated.
block, nickel-plated copper hot block, our standard aluminum heatsink in our
This thing is
Mosquito.
chunky. It's heavy, but you need that when you're pumping out that much power. You have
Right.
2 heat zones, it looks like.
We do, yeah. So 2 heat zones, an upper zone and a lower zone. So you can basically preheat the filament a little bit before
Right.
it gets pumped out into the lower section.
So the reason you would do this normally is so that you can get higher flow without having issues with it getting clogged, right?
Right, exactly, yeah. And filament is actually the main heat sink in the printing process, right? Because it's absorbing a lot of the thermal energy, hopefully most of the thermal energy.
You hope so, yeah.
Yeah, and so it doesn't actually reach the temperature that your sensor is saying it's at until it's, for most folks, it never reaches that temperature. In our setups, we specifically design it to where the filament should be exiting the nozzle at pretty dang close to what the temperature that the sensor is reading. And so we've designed this with actually redundant sensors. There's a sensor down in the bottom that comes at an angle really close to the filament path. And allows us to preheat, basically dump more energy into the filament earlier in the stage before it reaches the bottom stage where it's actually exiting at the temperature you want it to exit.
It's like it's proper preheat and post-heat,
It's preheat,
more or less.
yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And so these things are pretty big. You're not going to stick this on an Ender 3, though.
You're not putting on an Ender 3, no.
What's really, kind of the target for this? Like,
Yeah.
who should be looking at a Mosquito Prime?
Yeah. So if you're doing prosthetics, if you're doing especially like lower limb prosthetics where you care a lot about the interlayer bond strength, you're going to be printing with a big nozzle. You want
Gotta
a big
put some
bead,
mass
a
on
big
it, right?
bead, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. And it has to take some weight. So functional parts, we use this stuff for drones. They get mounted onto the end of a robot arm, so you can do non-planar or multi-planar printing. Also, folks that are doing like big sculptures or props for
Thick
a movie,
lines real
thick
fast,
lines real
yeah.
fast. Is any application that has thick lines real fast, that's where you want to use this.
Now, this is the standard air-cooled.
Yep.
You've got a water-cooled.
Yep.
Or liquid cooling, I should say.
Yeah, liquid.
Because it could be something other than water.
You're right.
And then you said this was conductive.
Yes.
Okay. Now I realize I can pull these off. I'm pulling it off now.
We have conductively cooled versions of our standard Mosquito and Magnum Plus, which is our high flow, sort of mid-tier high flow unit. And this also works on Mosquito Prime. So it is if you're familiar with a Picatinny rail or a NATO rail, clamping mechanism. So it
it is.
clamps on there like it's got a dovetail set up. And it's designed to conduct the heat away from what would normally be the heat sink into something else. So if you're mounting it to a linear rail, if you're mounting, which hopefully this is on a larger, faster moving
if your
machine,
entire extruder is made out of aluminum,
right?
Why not use it as a heat sink, basically?
Use that as the heat sink. So then you're compacting the form factor even more, and still getting that really high flow rate.
Yeah, actually, it looks like, you would gain a little bit of Z. You'd gain, what, about half an inch there?
Something like that, yeah. You're going to get some Z height. You're also going to reduce the number of fans that you have on your print head, which helps reduce weight, which matters as you scale up.
Especially if you're looking at high temp materials.
Right.
There might be some value in this as well, because fans, they don't like very hot environments.
They hate hot environments.
Yeah, most stuff doesn't like hot environments, and this would enable you to do this. I mean, of course, the liquid cooling would do it as well, but that's really unique.
It's pretty nice. We like it.
I don't think anybody else is doing that. That is super cool.
Yeah, and we're the first ones to do that, and so far the only ones to do that.
I did notice something interesting, that the second heater goes down through this channel.
It does.
Yeah, that must have hurt to cut all that extra copper out, huh?
It's it's a long machining process for this. It's the 7-axis machine that makes this. Yeah.
All right. I know we've been saying it. Dan and I are bad friends to each other. He doesn't come down and I don't go up into Gainesville.
Both in Florida.
Yeah, we're both in Florida. We're about 3 hours away from each other. We have to make this happen because I got to see this. How much am I going to have to blur when we come and see how this stuff is made?
All of it. We can do some fun stuff.
I have to do something because 5-axis is cool. 6-axis is really cool. 7 is normally like Swiss mills, like lathe Swiss mills.
Yeah, so we have a Swiss.
Yeah, those are Those are very nice machines. This thing is awesome. And what is the retail on these Mosquito Primes?
So Mosquito Prime starts at $999.
Okay.
$1,000.
$1,000.
Yeah. And that's a steal for the amount of throughput that you're
What's
putting.
the kind of flow rate you can get out of this bad girl?
Anywhere from, well, we max it out at about half a kilo an hour. So you're printing a spool of filament every hour.
That is
Every 2 hours, excuse me.
that
2
is
hours.
spicy.
Yeah.
A kilo every 2 hours. I kind of want to see how fast you go through Courtney from Filament Stories. I want to see how fast you go through her entire filament collection with something like this. These have up to a 2.4 millimeter diameter nozzle.
Yeah, so we recently launched a 2.4 specifically for prosthetics customers. And you can use that for both 175 and 285 filament, which is kind of fun. So we got some cool internal geometry there.
You have to, because, 1.75 is less than 2.4 for those that didn't know. You have some fun internal geometry going on there to increase the surface area to make it melt more. But this is with your new Gamma Master nozzles, right?
It is, yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about those nozzles?
Yeah, so Gamma Master nozzles we launched earlier this year. They have great thermal properties. Unlike most steel nozzles where you might have to crank up the temperatures, you don't have to do that with the Gamma Master nozzles. They also have anti-adhesive properties, so we've got a special coating on there that is not a PTFE base, so it can go to higher temperatures.
Right.
And it reduces the amount of plastic buildup on your nozzle. So the surface energy is way less than the plastic that you would be printing, so it actually just doesn't adhere very well, which is what you want.
A lot of people are used to dealing with PETG, getting kind of stringy and stuck to the nozzle. Yeah, try that with something like PEEK, a material that really just doesn't like melting in general. And then you have to go forward and like, all right, well, I guess I need a blowtorch to get this off. Yeah, so having anti-stick properties is actually incredibly valuable for a system like this, especially if you're doing really high flow. That is awesome. And I love the setup.
Thank you.
It's minimal, it's nice, easy to pack, which means it's easy to ship.
Right.
What else is going on with Slice? Any little tidbits we can get that's coming up?
So we'll have more stuff launching in the next 6 months that is designed for some of the more commonly available printers that we don't currently accommodate. So stay tuned for that. I think people will be pretty excited when some of that stuff comes out. And something else that I guess we didn't talk about, we've got a partnership with a company called Infinity 3DP to show off a print head or a hot end swap that's basically instantaneous. So we can walk over there and maybe get a little bit of B-roll of it in a minute.
I'll just grab it. Stealing it. Thanks.
This is a two-handed operation, but it snaps out.
No way. It's got pogo pins.
Yeah, so high temperature rated electronic setup and just pops in and out real quick and easy. And of course, mounts directly to a linear rail. So if you've got a machine with a linear rail, it's a really great setup for quickly swapping hot ends.
Okay. They're using the tube for the filament as the indexing pin, and that is really smart.
I wish I could take credit for that one. I can't take credit for that one, but that's a great idea.
And it's a push in and pull out, right?
Yep.
No.
You just got to get the right angle on it.
Okay. It's all machined aluminum, so I know I'm not going to break it, but in my head, I think I'm going to break it. Man, yeah, that is super cool. And this will work. Oh, and it's got a little spring in there,
It's got a little spring in there to make sure you got, positive traction on the whole thing. It's not going to move.
This is nice, especially if you're running like a bigger machine with a bigger nozzle and you want to be able to quickly swap it out without having to do hot swaps, especially if you're running high temp materials, right? But what are some other applications for a hot swap system like this?
So
or fast
high
swap,
temp
I should say.
is really a great application.
Yeah.
So you've got some of the folks that are using this already have basically a high temperature dedicated hot end and a more normal temperature dedicated hot end.
Right.
Because what you find is that if you leave, for example, PEI, Ultim is what the trade name that people know it by.
What your build plates are made out of, probably.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So if you leave that in the hot end and it solidifies,
it crystallizes and it's stuck in there forever.
Well, you can melt it, but if you want to print PLA afterwards, it's not going to be great. So you need to either have a flushing routine where you flush it out and then can convert over to another hot end.
Yeah.
But that takes time. And if you're in a production type of environment, you just swap the hot end out in 3 seconds.
No time for that at all. That's nice, because you also have downtime issues, right? Look, no printer is perfect. Every printer will have problems, period. Even your 2D printer that's been around for decades.
Yeah.
And this means you have less downtime because you take it, you put it away for future you to deal with. Current you can get another hot end back in there, get back to printing with purpose. That's
absolutely.
really what it's all about.
Yeah.
That's a cool system, dude.
Thank you. Yeah, and like I said, we did this
That's
with
cool.
Infinity 3DP, which is a company out of Taiwan, and they're running this system on their machines right now.
That's really awesome. Dan, thank you so much for showing everything here. This has been awesome.
Thanks for having me.
Guys, check out Slice Engineering. Links are in the description down below. Let us know what you think of these new Hotends, the Mosquito Prime. I know it's expensive, but boy howdy, it's a nice machine, especially if you are looking to do something on the industrial level, right? I know, you're like, I have a $100 printer. It doesn't matter. It's not made for you. It's made for people that want to make a ton of money doing this, and that's where time matters. If you can print fast, you can print accurately, and you can print with stuff made in the USA, often that helps you win those contracts from the three-letter organizations.
That's right.
Yeah, absolutely. Dan, thank you again. And that's it, guys. Our final video from East Coast Rep Festival / 3D Printopia 2023. I hope you all have enjoyed this massive amount of content, which of course we'll card to, so you can take a look at the entire playlist if you want to see some videos that you missed along the way. But our adventures in the Maryland, Delaware area are far from over. Join us tomorrow on the 8th of November 2023, where we start our video series with Printed Solid, where we show you how the filament is made. And it is super, super cool. And I have it on reasonable authority that maybe there's going to be some filament being given away. You'll just have to tune in to find out. But I do want to give a massive thank you to all of our channel supporters whose names are listed right next to me at the $5 tier and higher. Thank you for all that you guys do in making videos like these possible. Remember, if you want to support the efforts that we do, you can do so via the links in the description down below. But again, I hope you all have enjoyed this coverage. We've certainly enjoyed doing it. There's going to be some awesome videos coming out soon, and we're going to be traveling to Smurf, where we're going to be filming some really amazing things. And if everything goes right, I'm going to come home with a lot less hair on my head. So that should be fun and also frightening to me at the same time. Anyways, guys, let me know down in those comments, what was your favorite interview from 3D Printopia 2023? But stay safe out there. Don't forget to call your loved ones. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. And as always, keep making awesome. Have a good one. Positron's at LDO. Dude,
This is the old version.
I need one of these in my life so freaking bad. I want to build this, and I want to do it live.
Well, kits are coming out later this year, hopefully.
These are so cool. I love the clear bed that's still heated.
Oh, yeah.
That's absolutely amazing work. Are you the guy behind the Positron?
Yeah, I'm the general manager of the project.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good to meet you.
Good to meet you as well.
Man, these are just cool because you can take the printer anywhere, set it up,
Yeah.
and it's some pretty cool stuff. Yeah, I know. Sorry, guys. Things got a little busy here, and I might have not had enough time to film with LDO. Sorry. I apologize, Jason. But don't worry, we'll get it sorted. Jason said it's all cool.
Yeah. Thank you, guys.
Oh man, ERRF has been awesome.
Right?
Thank you.
You're
Seriously,